Hey YouTube, back with another Avatar Bronze to Mythic run draft. Last draft was a little rough, so we're going to try and get back in the saddle here with this one. Also, in between the last draft and this one, we completed all of our commons, so we will now be earning vault progress whenever we take commons or open them in packs. So let's jump right in and see what we get. All right, we opened two rares here and a whole bunch of powerful cards, so let's break it down. Foggy Swamp Visions is a 3 mana sorcery where you can waterbend X in addition, and then exile X target creature cards from graveyards, and for each one, make a copy of it at the beginning of your next end step, sacrifice it. So you basically get the ETBs, but also exiles them permanently. This card's not great. I'm not taking it. Firebender Ascension's great. It's 2-drop, just right away. It does firebending things, and if it gets fully charged, it gets out of hand incredibly quickly. Zhong's also good, as is Air Nomad Legacy. However, I think I would actually take Airbending Lesson over Air Nomad Legacy. And then on top of that, we have a dual end in the pack, which is quite decent. First time flyer, which has been quite decent. A Rocky Rebuke and a Messenger Hawk. So we're wheeling something from this pack almost certainly that's interesting. I'm taking Firebender Ascension. I think it's the best card. Unfortunately, incredibly weak against airbending, but it's just so good. I can't pass it up. And then we're getting past a couple interesting choices. Invasion Reinforcements is just a super efficient 2-drop. It's good in the ally deck. It's good in the go wide deck. 2-mana 1/1 flash, make a 1/1. Combustion Technique's great. Aru's incredible. Sokka's good. When I recast an artifact or less and put a 1/1 counter on him, and when he enters, discard up to 2 and draw that many. Just amazing way to kind of filter your hand. Be like a red-blue lessons, fill the graveyard deck. I don't know. Haru's kind of insane. It's the only green card in the pack. I kind of want to take Haru here. I don't know. This card has just been so difficult to deal with. It doesn't really work well with our Firebender Ascension, but honestly, Firebender Ascension can just be an efficient 2-drop in our deck. If I want to stay dedicated red, I could take Sokka and just try and go into this like red-blue spells thing. I don't know. I think Sokka's super replaceable. I think Haru's not, and Haru is just incredible. And after that, kind of a weird pack. We have an Epic Downfall, which is one of the better black removal spells. We have a Zuko, which goes well with the Firebender Ascension, but I actually think Zuko generally is very mid. True Ancestry's been okay. I kind of want to just take a Raucous Audience here. The mana ramp has been really good. It's a super efficient creature. Everything else here is okay. We could have 2 Air Nomad Legacies already. But I think this card, you only really need one of it, and it has the potential to be pretty bad for you. Doesn't put anything on the board. So I'll take the Audience here. I think True Ancestry's fine. I think it's best in like the green-black deck though, and it's kind of replaceable. More black cards that I'm like kind of okay on. I think May is good. I think the red one's honestly better. 2 mana 2/2 first strikes are decent, but whenever any player casts a non-creature spell, they lose 2 life. In like an aggressive red-black deck where you're just playing creature, you don't care about this ability, and it's just a 2/2 first strike. June's also quite good. I think both of them, though, are very whatever. Important to note, there isn't really a green card in this pack because Sparring Dummy is not really a card that we're ever taking. We could take Disciple as like a creatures can't be blocked. It's proven to be pretty good, especially with things like Firebender Ascension. It's also an ally. I like that better than the Mongoose Lizard here, and Avatar Enthusiasts as well as a relevant choice. Rockolanch, are we finally in the deck for Rockolanch? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. This card can be very decent, especially if you're very heavy green. And maybe I mean, our red cards are pretty okay, just 2-drops. We could go all in on the green. I also think Origin of Metal Bending has been incredible. There's a lot of really difficult artifact enchantments to deal with and not a lot of ways to deal with them. I don't know, Rockolanch having flashbacks pretty nice. Works well with all the landfall things and or not landfall, the earthbending synergies. Maybe we'll try to go like almost mono green. I think Rockolanch can be absolutely incredible in that kind of a deck. And look, now we're getting a wall top sentries, which I think is a necessary thing for our green decks. Not a lot of reach in this format, so the reach is super important. War Balloon's okay. I've been really unimpressed with Leaves from the Vine. On ETB, it kind of just does nothing, and then you need creatures on the board for it to be relevant, and then you need creatures in the graveyard for it to be relevant, so it's just need a lot of things for it to be good, versus like War Balloon and Badger Mold don't really require a lot of things to be good. Um, kind of want to take Badger Mole here. I'm gonna take the War Balloon. I have not really gotten to play too much of this card, but I've had it played against me and it seemed pretty decent. We're now getting a Boomy's Bash, which I'm obviously taking over these like two whatever cards. Wolfbat's been decent, but once again, I'm kind of not interested in that. Yeah, see, look, Foggy Swamp Visions wield, Jong wield. Okay, we're definitively in red-green again, with Jong wheeling from this pack, which obviously had a lot of good cards, but this card was one of the best, and I can't believe it wheeled. So we're really happy to see that. Another Boomy's Bash. Yeah, it looks like we're going to be in the red you don't get to have cards deck. Zuko's good in that deck, giving you extra things to play, and I'm super happy to take a Mongoose Lizard now. I don't think I want Zuko's Exile. I think I'd rather have a Raider, even though I'm probably not going to play it. So I'm whatever on Zuko and the Raider. Oh my gosh, the Earth King. This card's crazy. 4 mana 2/2, or yeah, 4 mana 2/2 make a 4/4, so 4 mana 6/6, and whenever you have big things attack, you get to search for a basic and put it into play. Yes, please. Then my deck, give me landfall triggers. Oh my goodness, this card is insane. This is Tenacious Tactician Sokka, so rare Sokka, other rare Sokka. 4 mana 3/3 Menace Prowess. All your allies have Menace and Prowess. And whenever you cast a non-creature spell, make a 1/1 ally, which therefore has Menace and Prowess. It's a pretty crazy card. Solstice Revelations has been super whatever. Flopsy is good. I don't like taking 6 drops this early, and I think this is one of the better ones to take, but I'd rather my 6 drops be Land Cyclers. So I think here I'm actually taking Rebellious Captives. It's a 2-drop. It Earth Bends. It's pretty efficient. I'm looking really heavily for like some of the dual lands as well, or a Rumble Arena. That would be super important for us. I think Longfang's pretty mid. Honestly, I think almost every card in this pack is pretty mid. Like, there's just nothing here. I'm like, ooh, yay, you know? Take a second Deserter's Disciple, which I think is whatever. I am kind of tempted to just take like Abandoned Attachments. It's the card most likely to make my deck, I feel like. Maybe Disciple is the most likely, given I could be allies, but everything else here I think is not ever really making the cut. And this is a red card, right? So it's a lesson as well to go with. I have something with lessons, don't I? Jong. Yeah. Okay, with Jong, Abandoned Attachments is pretty great. Rocco Ranch is a lesson that we can copy. That's pretty cool. It gives us something to gain 2 life off with wall top sentries, I guess. And it can help us get rid of the cards we're just not as excited to be playing. Now this is unfortunate because there's a Moose Lion, a Rumble Arena, and an Origin of Meldbending in this pack, but we gotta take Firebending Lesson. Early interaction has been the name of the game for this set, and you will not see me passing it very often. Um, Cunning Maneuver not being a lesson is a little bit of a bummer. I think here I take an Origin of Metal Bending. I think it's very good. And it looks like Firebender's Ascension is just going to be a 2-drop in our deck that has the potential to be scary. And we want our opponent to be like, oh no, we have to deal with that. And if they burn any form of interaction on it, I don't care. Hey, Sun Warriors. I think this is so good that I'm going to take it and try to play it, even though it's white. This card is basically a rare. Firebending X, where X number of creatures you control, and then make a 1/1 on a stick. So if we see a way to play this card, like some white fixing, I'm going to jump on it. I like Ty Lee. I think Rumble Arena is super important in the Earthbending decks, just even getting one of it. And now that we also have a white card, I think Rumble Arena becomes even better than Ty Lee. She's not an ally, and she doesn't Earthbend. She's just really efficient. And I do like having a Ty Lee in the deck, but I'm pretty happy not taking her there. Southern Air Temple is kind of nuts if you get even just a couple shrines, 4 mana, put a 1/1 counter on everything. It kind of requires you to have stuff on the board. I don't think I'm playing any of the cards from this pack genuinely, so I think I'm going to rare draft and just take this unplayable rare. And then we wield the Moose Lion. We were going to wheel something. Ooh, is the Moose Lion better than Kyoshi Village for us? Now that we have a white card? I actually don't think it does. I don't think it is. I think Kyoshi Village is actually better. It gives us our white source and it gives us a sack land to go for all of our earth bending. I think that's actually more important right now. I could take a black or a green tapped land here. I guess there are black cards I would maybe play if I open them, single black pipped cards. None of these. I'll take the second Deserter's Disciple here. Oh, look, see, now we wield this Saber-Tooth Moose Lion. Tells me green-red is like wide open. Look at the bottom of this pack. Just super playable cards. Cunning Maneuver is not going to make our deck, but it's a good sign. All right, pack 3, give me a reward. That is a white card that I would love to be able to play, and I would be taking it over almost nothing. I guess Airbending Lesson's also a white card I wouldn't be upset playing. But I'm going to take the Avatar's Wrath. If we can end up playing it, that card is so much better. We've learned our lesson on it, though, from the last draft of being smart about maybe not choosing to target a creature so that it can't be just fizzled. But other than that, if we can end up playing these white cards off of just a little bit more fixing, uh, our deck is going to be way better for it. This pack is awful. We have an Avatar Enthusiasts, which is fine. And then an Archers and Earthbending lesson, a Jong Jong, a second Jong Jong. How many lessons do we actually have in the deck? We have 4 lessons in the deck. Oh, Jong Jong's pretty decent. I mean, the problem is he's got to be removed, and people are scared of him sticking around on the board. So it's possible we can just eat a removal spell by playing one and then play the other. Fire Nation Attacks is an easy pickup for me. I think the Fire Nation Palace is a trap. And here's a second Foggy Swamp Villages for whoever ended up with the first one, I guess. Path to Redemption's removal, but it's in white, which is what we're definitively splashing. Vengeful Villagers has been super okay. I'm going to take Fire Nation Attacks. The card's incredible. Goes well for Fire Nation Ascension if we ever do that. So for our Fire Nation Firebender Ascension, we have 2 Jongjongs with Firebending 1, and we have anything else other than the 1/1 that it makes that has a on attack trigger. Price of Freedom I think is not great. Fire Nation Cadets could be decent. Gives us some better firebending. Or we could take a Rumblers. Actually, I think this is a pick for the Rumblers here. We don't have too much in the way of early lessons, which is where Fire Nation Cadets is great. We're also a little light on our late game, maybe. So these are in. I think these are out right now, at least. Hello? Stuck? Okay. I want a second Fire Nation Attacks. I don't know what's happening right now. Thank you, Magic Arena. I'll take a second Fire Nation Attacks. Please let me take this. Yay! Okay. Our mouse is now a Fire Nation Raider. What will he want? Can I switch to this? Oh, I fixed it. Oh, no, it's only... That's really funny, actually. All right, we'll figure that out in a moment. Another Foggy Swamp Visions. We've opened 3. That is really unfortunate for whoever... I mean, I opened one of them, so I'm included in the unfortunate for whoever opened those rares. I'll take another Rebellious Captives here. I think it's better than Eventual Villagers, which we're splashing for. I don't like Angus Journey. And yeah. Oh my goodness. Like my favorite card in the set. Twin Blades. 7th pick. Shouldn't happen. This card's nuts. We don't even need to talk about it anymore at this point. This card's just absurd. We're going to have some serious cuts to make. But as of right now, we're looking pretty good. I could take a second Raucous Audience. This is quite the choice. A Boomy's Bash or a Seismic Sense. I kind of think it's Seismic Sense as a second. No, it's Raucous Audience. We have great removal off of doubles, Boobies Bash. Getting to 4 is super important for us. See, look, now we're getting a Tylee, 9th pick. I'm taking it over Badger Mole and Origin of Metal Bending. She's just super efficient. She can kind of steal games. Goes great with the Twin Blades. I'm going to take an uncommon here that I like never take, which is the great Gather the White Lotus, because I'm not playing anything from this pack. Goes in the sideboard. Hey, an uncommon that I can take from my collection. It goes in the sideboard. Okay, we'll have to figure this out. Hey, we wield the cadets. That might make the deck genuinely with the fact that we picked up a little bit of extra early game lessons. And then, all right, please tell me my mouse isn't a Fire Nation Raider still after we go to deck building. Yay, I have a mouse again. Okay, let's cut the things at the end that it was like not really sure if we were playing. Or let's put them all on the side. If you've seen me do drafts before, you know I like using this like right side to see if there's cards that are like maybe not the most exciting to play, but currently are filling in the deck. Yeah, this looks pretty good. We have a lot of cuts to make. This is certainly a 16 land deck. We cap out at 4, and we have multiple mana sources that help us get there. So I think actually all of these just get instantly cut, and they're not really a consideration. And now we need to cut some real cards down. How many allies do we actually have? Firebending Ascension doesn't make an ally. Audiences aren't allies. The captives are, so that's 2. Wall Top is, but Tylee isn't. Both Jongjongs are, so that's like 6. We're cutting the Fire Nation Raider and Zuko, that's right. Earth King is. Rumble Wrestlers isn't, but the Sun Warriors is. We might have like just enough allies to make Haru worth it. And I think if we can play Haru, I'm happy to do so. Question is this Avatar's Wrath. It's double white, but man, is it good. But it's also not very good in our deck with 2 Fire Nation attacks and a Firebending Ascension and all the Earthbending we're doing. I actually think we cut it. I think it's too committal, and we just run trying to get to the Sun Warriors. We have 3 ways to cast Sun Warriors off of a Plains, Kyoshi Village, and filtering through Rumble Arena. We also have Abandoned Attachments if we can't find a white source to throw away the Sun Warriors if we need to. Earth King also goes and gets a basic land sometimes for us. Yeah, this seems like a very solid deck. 41 cards. I want to cut a land. I was going to say, I'm guessing it's a green source, but the green sources early are super impressive, and our red sources are all coming late. So I actually do think we cut a mountain. Even though we have more red sources, we have only 1 double red, and it's our swamps, it's our mountain cycler. Everything else is early game green. Like we have 3 early game red cards and 2, 4, 6 early game green cards. Yeah, pretty happy about this. This looks like a pretty fun deck. All right, we're going to run it. We're doing Naya, Ally, Earthbending as per usual. For the Naya deck, it's kind of a mix. Let's see how we do. All right, we're in Plat. Let's run it. Firebending Lesson into Mountain Cycle into either Zhongjong or Ty Lee. Seems pretty good to me. On the play, no less. I'd love to not see a scary 1-drop here, but I have to kill because I would love to hold on to this. And we got a 2-drop as well. So now we can do like a turn 4 maybe. And we also can hold up Zhongjong to Firebending Lesson with him. Well, this seems like an It'll Quench Ya or a Lightning Strike if I've ever seen it. So I'll get in for my 2. And I'm actually going to play Ty Lee. I'd rather her get countered or killed than Zhongjong. And she's also easier to protect with like the Firebending Lesson next turn. So next turn we play Zhongjong. See what's up. We won't be holding up Firebending Lesson, but we will probably be activating Ty Lee to make whatever they play here not be able to block. I'd love to see them just play like a dinky 3-drop. Hey, a dinky 3-drop. And now I get to... I'm just going to play... I guess there's no point in doing that first. I'm going to go to attacks. I'm going to auto pay. You can't block. Hit him for 5. Ding, ding. I'm just going to play out Zhongjong. At this point, it looks like we're holding on to the Mongoose Lizard to be able to play it. Potentially kill something and then be a 5/6 menace. I'd love to see them play just like a dinky 4-drop here, not really able to use North Pole Patrol well. Or imagine they spend their whole turn just doing North Pole Patrol things. If they play another thing that dies to Firebending Lesson, I get to exhaust Zhongjong and Firebending Lesson 2 things. Like if they play another 3-drop here. Okay. Close, but I think we're still going to do that. We're going to go to combat. Yeah, let's see how they want to block. We get a Firebending 1 trigger here as well. And I will actually spend to make it so the Iguana Parrot can't block. Because we're killing that with Firebending Lesson anyway. Yeah, so that's exactly why we did this. So we're going to put a 1/1 counter on Zhongjong. And the next time we cast a lesson, it's copied. We get to deal 2 damage to kill the Iguana Parrot. And get a Prowess trigger. And kill off my using the trade here. Yeah, this is so over. Oh, and they're dead. They take 7 from that because of the double Prowess. Oh my goodness. What a complete blowout. Well, that was no rares. That was just playing out commons and uncommons. Our opponent essentially passed on turn 2. You know, tempo's everything in this set. On turn 2, they just cycled through Abandoned Attachments, played a 3-drop that didn't really do anything. And on turn 4, they played a 3-drop that didn't really do anything, and a 2-drop that didn't really do anything. And we just curved out, right? Like, that's all we needed to do there to make it worth it. Turn 2 audience, turn 3 Earth King on the play. Yes, please. And if they kill the audience, we just play Haru with a tap land. So we see a swamp. It's very likely this is dying then. Double swamp, I assume. Heartless Act. Wow. Heartless Act. Alright. Welcome to the test of do you have a removal spell for Haru? You just spent a cheap, efficient removal spell on the other card. And Haru right now is already threatening to do all the things. Yep, that's not good enough. It could be, nope, they're not sacking it. So we play this. Here's the Earth King. I will Earthbend the Kyoshi Village, of course, and pass. We're already nearing board clear or bust territory for our opponent. We have a removal spell in hand and Jong Jong as well to trigger Haru again. And now we have further late game as well. Do I go to combat first? Just see what's up? Or do I play Jong Jong? I'm not boobies bashing the forecasting fortune teller, I feel like, ever. But it feels like they're just going to kill the 4-4 here. If they're just going to kill the 4-4, I'd rather play Jong Jong to make Kyoshi Village a 2-2 so I can attack with 2 2-2s. So let's do that. So we play Jong Jong, see what they want to do. If they want to kill Haru in response, that's great. Because it means they're not killing my 4-4. Next, attack with the 4-4. I get to go get a basic, which for us is our plains. We already have the green-white land in play, but I mean, I'd rather have it in case something happens to it somehow, like they tap it down and make it so it can't tap anymore. There's card effects to do that, of course. Oh, big Azula. When Azula enters, target opponent exiles a non-token creature they control. Non-token creature they control. And a non-land card from their graveyard. Raucous Audience. During your turn, you may cast spells with Azula, and you may cast them as though they had Flash. They have no mana up. Okay. So my non-token creature is Kyoshi Village, which comes back to the battlefield because of Earthbending. And then we just Boomies Bash Azula, because this card doesn't need to stay on the board. And I can swing with the team. The 2 2-2s essentially mean I get an extra 2 damage in. We'll go get a forest now, I guess. I'm not cycling this, and I'm also not exhausting Jong Jong unnecessarily. Plus, we're holding up exhaust anyway, so if they deal 3 damage to it somehow. Messenger Hawk is whatever. Does make a second clue. Yeah, that's irrelevant. If they were going to draw a card, they should have done that first off of the other clue. Pass, sure. It's only a 3-2 on their turn, so that's kind of irrelevant. Wow, Mongoose Lizard as well now to finish off however they want to block. Alright, I go to combat. I shall attack. I mean, the Earth King's still just putting on the pressure every time I get to do a thing. We'll go get another forest, I guess. I don't know. We're just filtering out all the lands from our deck. Yeah, so now we get to play Mongoose Lizard. I'm still not using Firebending. And the Mongoose Lizard just finishes off the Fortune Teller for 1. And they need a board clear, and then we've already gotten like so many lands out of our deck. We have a land we can sack, and we have a Sabertooth to follow it up, even if they board clear here. I have a lot of forecasting Fortune Tellers. This card is one of the best blue commons because it keeps you alive in the early game and then draws you a card in the late game. But the problem they're running into here, ooh, I can Earthbend 2 for, so I need 8, 4, 8. Yeah, we can animate the Kyoshi Village here. Again. Just gonna do this right away. Put 2 on counters on it and make my Kyoshi Village a 2-2. It's yet another 2/2 that gets in for damage here. Oh, we have a response? Nope. Alright, well, I'm going to attack with everything and go get another land. Sold out my 5/6. Oh no. I'm so upset about this. Oh, they let me get the attack trigger, so I get a second land. At this point, we've gotten almost every land out of our deck. We have 4, 8, 9, 10 in play. 11 in play because of the Kyoshi Village. So there's 5 lands left in our whole deck. One of them's a Rumble Arena, which we're actually not even upset to draw. Jody, and the game is over. That's 2 wins. Just speed running our way through Platinum here. Hopefully we can get to a point, we might be able to get to a point with this draft where we are done for November, and we'll just wait for the season reset. We're coming right up on it. I think it's Plat 2 is the goal. I have to go look at my math again, but I believe Plat 2 is where the point of diminishing returns kicks in, and it's the 26th, so there's no way we'll have time to get to Mythic reasonably in the rest of November, so we're better off just waiting for the thing. All right, on the draw this time, we're gonna go Kyoshi Village into Haru. Assumably they'll remove it if they can, and if they can't, we play Rebellious Captives, and if they can, we play Tylee. So either way, we have a nice little 2/3 setup for us, or Wall Chop Sentries. So we assume this dies to whatever it is they have that kills it. They don't have Lightning Strike or, oh my gosh, they didn't kill it. No blocks. In that case, I'm going to play a mountain and play Wall Top Sentries. And when ally enters, animate. And you can already see it's really early in the game, and Haru is already a problem, making 1/1s that block efficiently. Hey, the Earth King's pretty good. Earth King's really good. Well, in that case, I'm just going to play Rebellious Captives. I'll Earthbend again. And we'll hold up Origin of Metal Bending now for my 2/3 Death Touch in case they try to do something tricky. I assume they're attacking with a 4/4. Resolve. Go get a land. I assume it's a forest. Oh, plains. Okay. Gotta be careful of some of the Naya threats, I guess. Block like this. I will save my Wall Top Sentries because it's efficient mana-wise. I'm going to be playing out my whole hand next turn in some way or form. In this case, we're playing out our whole hand by the Fire Nation attacks. Right? Yeah, neither of these are allies, so I don't really care about playing them. Next, no attacks. We're just going to go Fire Nation attacks. See what they do here. It's possible they have like an Avatar's Wrath and they're just going to bounce everything or whatever, but apparently they don't have a 4-power creature for the Earth King to trigger off of. That's like their first goal. And even if they do, we have great blocks this turn. The reason I want to do the Fire Nation attacks as well is it gives us the fire bending so that we can maybe exhaust Rebellious Captives and get the value out of it before it goes away. So right now we're 1 mana short. Earth Kingdom Jailer. Exile a creature, artifact, or enchantment with mana value 3 or greater. Okay, that's my Wall Top Sentry. There's nothing I can do about that. And then it returns when this leaves the battlefield. So they're very clearly dedicated Naya. This card's good. And then we're discard the drawing. Interesting you're choosing to do that second. Or yep, sure. Do you want to attack? Nope. Alright, well here's my Fire Nation attacks. Surprise! Do I just pass with mana up again for activating Rebellious Captives? To Earthbend 2 and make Kyoshi Village a 4/4? I don't know, I feel like playing out my hand doesn't really do anything for me. I'm just going to pass. I'm holding up sacking Kyoshi Village, and I'm also holding up using Rebellious Captives' mana to exhaust. So they do something like dealing 2 to everything. I don't know, we'll just have to see what they're up to. We got plays. Alright, let's see what they want to do. We got a lot of thinking happening over there. Right now we're playing through their rare. I would love to draw some allies. Lands don't even hurt me because we're moving towards Fire Nation attacks. The second one, right now we're at 5, 6, 7, 8 mana off of the firebending from attacking. So we could do an Alpha Strike and then just replace the ones that die with more firebenders. Glider Staff. That's really problematic. Okay. Airbending the Earth King to make another 4/4. This is pretty rough. Glider Staff's crazy. And then a removal spell. Okay. Deals 5, so I'm just gonna activate this now and put it on Kyoshi Village, make it a 4/4. Hey, Sun Warriors is a card I wanted to see. So now we're gonna try and bait them into actually using that Barrels of Blasting Jelly in some way or form. And I have no point in keeping my 4/4s back anymore, and we now need to put the pressure on. They have 4/4s. We're just gonna double block and triple block and figure out how we want to kill the 4/4, but they're gonna start air raiding us and we can't keep up with it. So we need to just get on the board and start putting the pressure on. Yeah, I'll happily trade one of their 4 power creatures because it means the Earth King doesn't get a trigger off of that as well. They're a little mana tight, so I'm actually surprised at this trade. So normally you're supposed to hold up mana before you do attacks first. In this case, I actually want to trade, so I want to show them that by playing my stuff first, that they get the trades they want. Because I actually think the board is better for them right now as is. I'm happy to trade off both the 4/4s. Yes, it means I don't get double green off Raucous Audience. I don't need double green, right? So what I just did there is I actually demonstrated I was willing to do the trade. Now, as an opponent, you could think, hey, maybe that means that they want this trade. In this case, that's actually exactly accurate. I'm looking at this and saying, I would prefer that I took some of these threats off the board. Like we just I traded off the Earth King and the bear it made for a Earth Bent land and a 4/4. And then they just drew Jet. Like, yeah, absolutely this trade benefits me. I would love that they attacked that 3/3. Okay, they didn't. Problem is, Sun Warriors just dies to the Barrels of Blasting Jelly, which is very sad. I think I need to get back my ally, and then Earthbend 1 and do all the things. So we're going to do Boomy's Bash on Earth Kingdom Jailer, get back my ally, Earthbend here, and now I actually get to get in with attacks and start doing some real damage. If I attack like this, I can sack Kyoshi Village, put it back as a land. That sounds amazing. So I attack like this, I get Firebending 1, Firebending 1. They may have a board clear, but as a backup to the board clear, I have Sun Warriors. Now, unfortunately, that dies to Barrels of Blasting Jelly, which is why I really want them to use the barrels. Land's fine. I want them to use the barrels here on my Reacher, so that the Glider Staff can start getting through. Because I want to be able to resolve the Sun Warriors and just start making 1/1s immediately. We also have a backup Fire Nation attacks for when we start really flooding out. We're actually almost at a point where we can just cast that without needing even to Firebend. Kyoshi Village being able to be Earthbent and then sacked and then returned is a common strategy in this set that we're going to keep doing. Okay, they went wide again. Into Momo, the uncommon Momo. Yeah, that's the good one. Alright, they just went wide. And now we're holding up the Fire Nation attacks for 9. Unfortunately, I don't want to play this and then it just dies to barrels of blasting jelly. That's so bad. Alright, I think we just Fire Nation attacks this coming turn and then start doing aggressive things after that. No attacks. We're just going to flashback the Fire Nation attacks. They're hellbent, and once again, I have a Reacher. I desperately want them to use the barrels of blasting jelly to kill my wall top sentries. If they do that, oh no, what a top deck. Put a 1/1 counter on every creature you control every turn. This game is just over now. Okay, I now have to play the Sun Warriors out after the Fire Nation attacks. They have so much health. And of course, it's a land. I have no way to deal with it. I have no board clears, so we just have to trade down. Given that that's in their deck, I'm even more surprised they were willing to trade with me. The wall drop sentries has Death Touch at least, so whatever it is that they attack with the glider staff this turn. I'm gonna hover this. I want them to read this. Okay, I don't care. If your only attack is gonna be the pretending box bearers in the air, I literally don't care. Uh-huh. You're just passing? Oh, it's instant speed, right. Of course it is. Well, I'm going to play a second of the Fire Nation attacks. Alright. Land means I have to just play this Sun Warriors. I don't have a choice anymore. And now with the Air Temple, you know, we may actually be able to get them to kill off the Sun Warriors instead of abandon Air Templing this turn. Go to combat. So if I attack with all of my Firebenders here. Okay, that's super good. Because here we just get to make another 1/1. Auto pay. Kyoshi Village becoming a 2/2 is irrelevant. So we're going to just make another land, do a thing. And now they have a turn where they don't have up the ability to give everything +1/+1. So we are just getting in with everything that can get in. We need to start trading down this board right now. Attacking with the 1/1s, does that help me? They only have 2 things that can block Haru positively, and every creature we get off the board is a win. So if they want, they could block Haru with Pretending Pox Bearers and a 2/2 with the... I think we also attack with the Wall Top Sentries. Pretty hard for them to block. Do we just attack with everything, and the next turn we just go for an Alpha Strike again? I think we do. Alright. We make them... We have to put the pressure on. We lose to Abandon Air Temple in approximately 2 turns. So every turn that we are removing creatures from their board is better for us than for them. Yeah, Pretending Poxbearers not dying also is relevant because they could be blocking in a way where it dies and then they get the 1/1 back, which I think is better for us, actually. Okay, we got them to 10. We lose about half our board and they lose about half their board. They lose Jet and Momo, which are both good things to lose. We get 2 life. I assume they're playing a 1/1 count. Scry 2. Okay. And now they're holding up They only have 4 creatures. Put everything on the bottom. It's cost 5 to activate. So they only actually have 3 mana outside of the Air Temple. Okay, well, that's an irrelevant draw. They should be getting worried here, because it's a numbers game pretty soon here. They have 4 blockers. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 attackers. So right now we get in for 2 more creatures. If we draw removal, that's also just super relevant. We are getting to a point where every creature... Oh, because they want to block. You know what? Abandoned attachments, huh? I think I have to sack the Kyoshi village here. I can't attack with it and sack it. I'm never just attacking with it. They're taking a turn off. Potentially they're going to draw a card. But we need to find an answer to something. We need to put creatures on the board. Okay, that doesn't matter if they do that now or later. I need to discard and draw this immediately. 2-drop. Boomy's Bash and the Fire Nation attacks. Okay. Hold on. So next turn we kill their biggest thing. And we can play the Fire Nation attacks. Okay. Next turn we're killing Earth Kingdom Protectors because everything else is an ally. We are at 20. Oh, that's super risky for them. I guess they feel safe with the Earth Kingdom Protectors on it as well. Sure. So we... Boomy's Bash... Killing... Destroy target creature... This is going to be so close. I can only give one thing flying a turn. I guess we just try to kill off this 4/4. No, we're not attacking this turn. I need to kill the Earth Kingdom Protectors, right? So they can't block, sacrifice, give another thing indestructible. Okay. We'll kill the Earth Kingdom Protectors here. And see if they want to sacrifice to give something indestructible. They do. Uh-huh. I can trade 2 Firebenders for 2 Firebenders. If I want to. I think I'd rather just play the Fire Nation attacks next turn. Or this coming turn. So we just pass. We're still at 15. And at this point, the 1/1 counters don't matter. The creatures are big enough that they just block everything. So it's irrelevant. Okay, they're drawing a card, which means unless they drew a land, they can't abandon Air Temple. But more importantly, they can't equip a Glider Staff. I guess they're just not attacking this turn. And they're just gonna... That's super irrelevant. Oh, I guess actually it's not. They have a lot of mana. But they're not doing the thing this turn. Pass to attackers. I get 2 more 2/2s. Rumble Arena. I will play it. Scry. I don't want to see a land. Okay. Putting the land on the bottom. So we have 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Which means we're 1 short of being able to Fire Nation attacks. They have 5 creatures. Is playing Rebellious Captives. Yeah, it makes 2 4/4s. That's actually way more efficient. Although next turn, we can play Rebellious Captives and use the Firebending to Earthbend onto a land we already have in play. This is going to be super close. They have 4, 8, 9 mana, 10, 11 mana to pump this 5 times. So this will be 7 in the air. I think we have to play Rebellious Captives here, and then Earthbend it onto a different land to make more creatures. Because it's 4/4s, which actually start to kill them. And once again, they have 5 blockers, and we have 6 attackers, so I could trade off all of my 2/2s to deal 2 damage. That doesn't make sense. This is super close. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, we can't cast Fire Nation attacks. We're just doing Rebellious Captives this turn. And Vigilance is also relevant. Yuyan Archers is just another creature. That's all that matters. Numbers game. They're trying to figure out if they can afford to attack this turn. I'm at 15. It's pretty far away. I'd love to see them not feel comfortable attacking this turn. Giving the Yuyan Archers flying, even though it doesn't have haste. Interesting. And this time, I actually think I put it on the Vigilance creature so that it hypothetically can block again next turn. Also, because I'm probably sacking Kyoshi Village. So now we have a land. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 11 mana. So if I want to sack Kyoshi Village, which I'm not doing this turn. Alright, we're putting 2 more creatures on the board next turn, which is more than they are. And once again, they can only attack in the air of one thing at a time. This is a race to go wide, not tall, because we can't beat them on going tall. But at a certain point, they'll be able to swing out. Problem is, nothing has Vigilance. So anything they swing out with, I can chump block with my smallest stuff and then attack with my biggest stuff. This is a super tight game. Ban Air Temple still doesn't do really much difference here. Like, it's kind of irrelevant. Gotta be careful of the Fire Nation Cadets being able to pump itself off of Firebending for one big attack. But it only gives itself +1/+0 per 2. So they have 9, 10, 11, so it can give itself 5 power. So it's 7 right now, which is not enough to kill me. It is enough to attack with it, heal 7, and then threaten lethal next turn. But they know I'm playing a Fire Nation tax this coming turn. Yeah, that doesn't matter. Also, it means they don't have a creature in their hand. Pass. Could be a removal spell. That would be really bad. They have some... Oh, well, a Fire Nation Cadets holds priority either way. The Earth King is another 2 creatures. Interesting. Yeah, we're just going wider than they are. And this turn we get to sack Kyoshi Village. It means we can't... Oh no, we can play it through that. So we should sacrifice Kyoshi Village first. Because we're playing the Earth King either way. Might as well see what we draw. A land is irrelevant. And then we play the Earth King. And we get another... We're just going wider than they are. They also didn't put a creature on the board last turn. Or attack. So now we're getting to a point of width where we win. They have 6 creatures on the board. We have 7 Fire Nation soldiers. That's a creature, so that's 1 more for them. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 attackers. The 6 blockers. 7 things get through. We win. I do believe we win. All right, we're going to double check. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 blockers. We have 7 Fire Nation soldiers. That's what this times 7 represents, right? Yeah, 7 Fire Nation soldiers. So 1, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 attackers to their 7. So 6 things get through. We have 2 1/1s, which is 2 damage. So they're 8. And then everything else is at least 2 power. And they have no lifelink. It's good game. Next, attack with everything. It's exact lethal. Firebend for 1,000,000. And go and get one of our only 3 basic lands 2 of our 3 basic lands. And they have 1 red up. So if their 1 red up is firebending less than they win because of this attack. Yeah, they block all the 4s, and then everything else just blocks a 2. You cannot double block. You're at 10 health. Lethal. Last card in their hand has to be Firebending Lesson. Wow. Wow. We played that perfectly. Understanding how to win and understanding what needed to happen. Obviously, we got a little bit lucky with our draws as well, but it became a width game, and I don't think our opponent realized it soon enough. I think they were playing like size of their creatures was going to matter, and they didn't prioritize cards that influence the board in the right way. As a result, we've already broken even. What a game. Really stole one there. I just want to point that out. I don't think we deserve to win that, especially knowing they had the abandoned air temple. Imagine if they hadn't traded off 3 creatures right before playing that abandoned air temple. Obviously, they didn't know they were top decking it, but that's the kind of thing where it's like you look at the board, you're winning on the board, right? Why would you want to trade the board down if the current board state benefits you? Especially trading down the things that make it so your board state is what's so good, right? Like I had 2 4/4s and they had a 4/4, but every time it attacks, it goes and gets a basic land. Yours is better than mine, right? In the long run and the short run. All right, that was a pretty crazy win. Here, oh goodness. Let's see. Do nothing on turns 1, 2, and 3, and then maybe remove something on turn 4 on the draw. I think not. Hey, look at this. We'll go 2, 3, figure it out. We'll put a Jong back. We already have one. Funny enough, I mean, Firebender's Ascension's pretty good on turn 2. I think I'd rather just play the Raucous Audience. Hang on what we see here and draw here. Yeah, we're not getting to attack with the Firebender's Ascension into a Poxbearers. We're seeing black, red. Could be like a aggressive sacrifice deck. Could be a Firebendery deck. You know what? No, I don't want to just trade this off and give them a 1/1. That seems so weak. Yeah, I'd rather they burn a Firebending Lesson and do nothing else. Fantastic. Here's Jong. I assume they're removing this too. It looks like they have a Heartless Act. Yep. Alright. Burn through 2 removal spells of 2 creatures that I don't really care about died. That's the nice thing about our deck being just kind of full of efficient creatures. That creature I want to die. That puts on a lot of damage pretty fast. And then here we just play Firebender's Ascension and Rebellious Captives. And I will trade my Firebender token for the 2/1 now. I think it's not worth it. Absolutely. They didn't sack the clue, which is kind of a good and a bad thing, because it tells me they're probably playing a 5-drop. Yep, and that's the 5-drop I really didn't want to see. Well, I guess we are using Lizard Blades and Origin, or Twin Blades and Origin of Metal Bending to kill the Cruel Administrator, and they get a 2/2 out of it. So just a casual, like, 3-for-1. I assume they're going to try to kill it in response, and I have to hope it's not the Exile one. Do I further protect this card? If I play Origin of Metal Bending, it means that if I draw any untapped land, I can then at least Earthbend. Yeah, I think we have to go for this. And if they have an answer here, we just lose. Okay. Okay, this is huge. Absolutely huge. We end up with a 4/4. That doesn't matter. That matters a lot, actually. Okay. The Earth King is our top deck? Wow, that's amazing. This actually will trigger Firebender's Ascension, I do believe. Should. We can go get our white source. It doesn't? Why did that not trigger? Whenever a creature you control attacking, cause a triggered ability of that creature. Ah, lame. Yeah, every turn they're going to get to attack with Messenger Hawk in the air. Sure. Go to 8. Fire Nation Raider, make a clue. That's really bad for us here. We need a removal spell. That's not a removal spell. I think we lose this one, friends. I can Earthbend 2 to make this a 6/6. Yeah, we're just super dead in the air. Because they make a thing unblockable and then they draw off the clue. So it's exact. Is it exactly full? Is it 1 off? Might be 1 off. I think it is exactly 1 off, but then we need to draw 2 removal spells to get out of this, which we don't have anything in our deck that can do that. Because if they do that combo and then attack with everything, we can block the other 3 and we go to 1. Yep. I mean, we'll put them in a position where maybe they make a misplay. But we're just going to hold up Earthbending 2, I guess. They crack the clue. The Hawk goes to 5. Who knows? Maybe they mess up. I think it's doubtful. That Cruel Administrator is just crazy. And they also had the double removal spell early. Yep, they got it. It's lethal. They needed land. I guess they could actually just kill the Earth King and it's lethal. Alright. That's a loss. We'll book it. We'll book it. We deserve to lose on that last one, so I mean that's we're just evening the toll. Also, we are cursed with not being able to go 7-0. If you've been following along so far this series, we have 4 7-1s. So let's net a profit on this one. We only need basically 1 more to guarantee the net profit. On the draw, this is a keep and it is super sketch, but it is just what we gotta do. We get 3 shots to see a land. We also have a 2-drop to kind of support us through that as well. Green-white. Looks like they are going to be cycling for a color. Not a lot of instant speed green-white other than that I'm worried about here. Oh, invasion reinforcement. I'm fine with that. Puts 2 creatures on the board. Oh no. I actually do think I trade here. This 2-drop doesn't do a lot for us. And I am just gonna play out Walltop Sentries, and then next turn we Boomy's Bash. This blocks incredibly well. If they have a second White Lotus Reinforcements, that's disgusting. That's fine. Put it on that, sure. Do I trade here? No, because killing the White Lotus Reinforcements makes it a 2/2 again. Oh, it looks like they have Origin of Metal Bending. That's really bad. Unfortunately, there's very little we can do about Origin of Metal Bending. Yeah, we just have to hope that they don't have it. Could be other things. It could be the Cycler we were thinking they maybe had. Pillar Launch. Sure. They still don't have great attacks, and next turn we're going to play the Fire Nation attacks. So I will now trade for this 3/3 as Death Touch. They can't really do anything to change it. Oh no, that card's gotta go. I guess I just pass here. They get to Waterbend 5 right away. This card's insane, by the way. Why is that one waterbending, but some of the other things aren't? I don't know. South Pole Voyager? Oh my goodness, pass. The Fire Nation attacks. Can we kill this Water Tribe Rallier? Seems like they have removal. We have to try. This card gets out of hand immediately. It must die. If they have a trick after everything else they've already had, like a Yip Yip or whatever, we're just getting blown out. But there's nothing we can do about it. We have to kill this card. Waterbending 5 is amazing. Is exactly what I wanted to see. Alright. We're totally back in this now. And then we drew a Sun Warriors. Oh, yeah. So now we get to play Zhong Zhong and the Audience. If they have a removal spell for Zhong Zhong, we have a backup one. And then we're playing Sun Warriors next turn. The reason I didn't play it this turn is it's way worse if they have a single target removal if I play Sun Warriors. And if they just play out their hand here, that's way better for me. They can put a 1/1 counter on this, we'll get their land. They took the land. Looks like they're waiting to be able to guarantee a South Pole Voyager trigger. Please don't have the 1-drop that gives indestructible. Okay. Okay. We're so in this right now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. 8, 9 if I attack with my Firebenders. Probably isn't worth it. I think I just have to play the Sun Warriors here. And we're holding up, giving Zhong Zhong a 1/1 counter. We don't have any lessons, but we have all of our lessons still in the graveyard, or in the deck, so Zhong Zhong can still do great things, potentially. Like, imagine we draw a Firebending lesson. If they have a removal spell for Sun Warriors, they're using it here. Almost certainly. No? Seems like they have a removal spell. Path to Redemption. Can it activate its abilities? It can. So I can still pay 5 and make a 1/1. I don't think I want to do that. We have another removal spell? Crazy if they do. They've just drawn impeccably. Earth Rumble, Earthbend 2, and then Fight. It's a fight, not a bite, so this kills it. Yeah. That's not, I'm not gonna let that slide. And now we're just attacking with the Voyager? What is going on? I'm at 13. I gotta kill the Voyager over the White Lotus reinforcements. We still have 2 blockers here. Haru is a great draw. Wow. So now we get to play Haru, play Zhong Zhong, and then Earthbend onto the Kyoshi Village. And no attacks. Now we have the ability to sack the Kyoshi Village to draw cards. Whenever a land enters, it gains flying. This is a tough one. So I can pay 5 mana and make a 1/1. I can sack Kyoshi Village to draw a card. Problem is we need to find a way to kill this now. I can play Ty Lee, and then I have... This needs 4, so I have 1, 2, 3. Pretty funny. I could attack with just the Fire Nation Soldier and sack Kyoshi Village. That feels wrong. Problem is, if I sack Kyoshi Village, I'm just going down on the board. I think I'm holding up sacking Kyoshi Village or making a 1/1 and Earthbending 1. So let's see what they do. Because this is instant speed, so we can pay 5, make a 1/1, Earthbend 1. So 1/1 counter on 2 target creatures. That's not an ally, thankfully. Yeah, that's fine. No land. Alright. This is what we're doing. I think I have to sack Kyoshi Village. Leaving up red-green. Sure. Abandoned attachments? Yeah, Tylee's not doing anything for us here. Oh, but we can activate it with... No, I don't think we can risk it. I think we need to find answers. I was going to say we could maybe hold this up for exhausting it with Zhong. I think that's just too risky and too slow. We need to find a removal spell immediately here. We have enough mana to be able to sack this first before doing anything. Because we're just playing Rebellious Captives anyway. Other land. That is not what we want to see. We just play the Captives. They're at 22. We gave up our Kyoshi village to do this as well. No attacks. I don't know. We need to find an answer to the 4/6. Otherwise, every land. Yeah, we're going to 1 here. If they have a way to pump this, if they have a way to deal A damage, we just lose. And if we don't find a removal spell for it, if they find a land, we lose. Do they have another pump spell? What a greedy deck. They have a pillar launch. Alright, we go to 1. And then they're exiling after redemption. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Another land? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? Ugh. Well, we have to hope that they didn't top deck a land, I guess. That's like really all we can do. And then we're just Rebellious Captivesings. We have 3, 6, 7, 8. So we're 1 short of the Fire Nation attacks. Technically, we're not dead unless they top deck. They have a land in hand. If they have a land in hand, we just die. I will concede. Funny enough, they are running out of lands. You know, they got 7 in play. Actually, they probably have 10. Oh, no land. This is huge. We're just trading a 4/5 vigilance for stuff. Yeah. I double block like this. And then I exhaust. And put them on the land. This was all face up. I'm happy to trade either a 4/4 or a 3/3 for their 4/5 vigilance. Why didn't they just Earthbend 3? Oh, this doesn't matter. Okay. Land comes back to me. Removal spell that I can use with Zhong. Oh, goodness. Another land, come on. Alright, you got me. Lands, am I right? Okay. Yeah, that was like 6 lands straight. It was just brutal. We drew the abandoned attachments with a land. We threw away the land, and we drew land 2-drop, and then we drew land. Well, this turned on its head. We're stuck at 3 wins. 1 more is really our true break point, so we're not taking a loss on this draft. So now we're in sudden death. Counterspelled 69. What a name. Alright, I'm on the play with a 2-drop, 3-drop, and a Twin Blades. Yeah, that's what I want to see. Mountain first, so that they're worried about Firebending Lesson. They play a tapped land. I play Haru. They have to kill it. So this is the test. Do you have a 1 or 2 mana removal spell? If you do, Haru dies. If you don't, you're in trouble. Here's Zhong. Trigger my ally. Get a 1/1. Doesn't seem like a lot, but like, even just this. They could have a 3 mana removal spell, and they're probably not out of it here, but it's going to start going downhill really fast for them. Huh? If you want to use a trick to kill Zhong here, I don't care. Like yip or whatever, go ahead. That's totally fine. I do not care about that one bit. Um, with 4 mana, I think I just play Ty Lee. That seems like a desperation play to me. Either they're really needing a land, like a color, or maybe they found it, or they are worried about this getting out of control quickly, which is also relevant. Or they have multiple tricks. I'm not blocking this time because I think Ty Lee is worth more than the 2/2. And I can also just, if they untap it, make it so this can't block. So like if they do nothing this turn, I'm just going to attack in. We also have a Twin Blades now. Avatar the Last Airbender. That's a good card. Airbending my Ty Lee. Sure. Alright, I'll play a land. I'll play an ally. This time I will still airbend on red, I guess. And then I'm gonna just replay Ty Lee. Alright, that was a lot of tempo for them, but now we're still in the same spot, basically. I feel like that was an underutilization of Aang. Aang can be such a blowout, but this is pretty chill. Haru just making a bunch of 1/1s. Alright. They have a second copy of this uncommon combat trick. That would be really gross. I'm fine with this trading. I'm also fine with them using a combat trick to kill it. It's just a 2/2. We're not really close to making it be worth more than that. Takes an ally off the board. Boiling Rock Rioter. That card's really good. That card's really good. So we're gonna go to combat. Go straight to combat. Attack with just Ty Lee. And then we're going to play the Moose. And I shall decline. If they want to trade, I am so willing to trade. And every damage point is super relevant right now because we're playing a 7/7 and we have a Ty Lee in play. They have 1 black-white mana, which is Yip Yip or basically nothing else. They didn't tap Boiling Rock Rioter to exile an ally. Okay, they exile my creature. That's their whole turn. They get in for 6. No blocks. 1, 2, 3. Are they dead? Hold on. Ty Lee. Yeah, I think they're dead. Okay, let's double check the math here. I have to use one of my mountains to cast Abandoned Attachment. This is a May, not an additional cost. So I'm going to just do this for the Prowess trigger. Because we put Ty Lee on Twin Blades, which gives her Prowess and +1/+1 and Double Strike. So she goes to 5. Oh, they're not dead. So then using Abandoned Attachments isn't worth it. I might as well just attack with everything. We go to 3. They've exhibited no red cards. Alright. We just Twin Blades on the Ty Lee. She goes to 5, so 10, 11, 12. I can do 13. I can pay 1 to do 2. Not worth it. I might as well attack with everything. Bing. Bing, 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 bing. And then next turn, we're threatening lethal 1,000 ways. Ty Lee has to be removed. We go to 6, sure. If they have another combat trick, they need the one specifically that gives 2 creatures +2/+2. Okay. What you got? We went for it here. We went all in for it. They don't use the firebending. There's holding up mana. Oh, this is so sketch. I guess I start by Abandoned Attachments discarding Raucous Audience. I don't know what's going on here anymore. Oh, they do have a removal spell. Gosh dang it. They had it the whole time. Land again! What are we doing? 8 lands in the top 16? Now we lose. They don't know that I don't lose. I could have a removal spell to kill the 3/2. This is so brutal. Just the greediest deck we're facing to go 3-3 with this deck. What a heartbreaker. At least we broke even on the wins losses, but we're losing gems for it. This is just disgusting. They may not attack with Aang. I don't know why they wouldn't. Yeah, you got it. All right. What a stupid way to lose. I mean, we could have left back one of the Earthbent lands, but we basically put them in a spot where they had to have removal and they didn't the turns 2 previous, so we gave it our all. Oh well. That's a really depressing way to have it go out, go 3-0 and then go 0-3. I mean, this deck was fantastic. It just didn't perform. We had 2 games where we got absolutely flooded out, and we honestly stole a game that we really should have lost. But uh, kind of the issue of this deck is it didn't have really anything too crazy. I mean, it was just a really efficient deck. The Earth King is good, but on the turn it comes down, it kind of doesn't do much. Zhongzhong's super reliant on having lessons in your hand, which we didn't have a lot of. Some Warriors is great, but it basically gets an instant removal spell. Aru was pretty good in our deck, not as good as it can be. And other than that, we have no other rares. Oh no, we have Firebender's Ascension, which wasn't even very good in our deck. So our only rares were Firebender's Ascension and the Earth King, which are decent but not crazy. And then the rest of our deck's kind of filler. And we did a lot with the filler in this deck. We never saw some of the cards that would have helped us out a ton, like War Balloon being a flyer would have been relevant in multiple games. Earth Rumble Wrestlers being a reacher would have been relevant in multiple games. So we kind of saw what I would call like the bottom half of our deck. We saw a lot of this Rebellious Captives. We saw a lot of Zhongzhongs with no lessons, and that's kind of the way it rumbles. But 3-3, we broke even, I guess. Make the most out of the deck. Coming off of an 0-3, that's still better than nothing, but we are going to be losing ballpark 450 gems off of this exchange in the long run, which is obviously not what we want to do. But, keeping ourselves in the mix, looks like we got at least another draft to do before the end of the month as we try to push to the break point that we wanted. I'm going to do a quick double check and see exactly where we're trying to get. But we're right on the cusp of it. So we're very close to being able to close it out for November and then come back in December with a fresh look and a big push to get to Mythic. See you on the next one.